All right. Let's see if my voice can hold up. Now, I just finished Subbook 2. Holy crap. So I am halfway. And rather than going over all the different things, because I don't think my voice is going to make it, and really I only have one thing I want to talk about anyway. That's Rhulad. This stupid idiot brother. And the Edur. Now, going into this book, when I found out that it was about the Edur, it was about Troll and his past, I wasn't sure if this was going to be kind of like just a few years before Gardens of the Moon, or way, way, way before, because we knew that the Barghast used to fight against them. They had kind of some other name. Now that the Edu are going to be back, yeah, the Barghast are going to definitely be fighting against them. But yeah, I wasn't sure if this was from when the Edur kind of were doing a lot from way before, like from the prologue with Scavendari Bloodeye. I wasn't sure how many years passed between them. But I'm thinking that, yeah, all that was then. Everyone thought that they were wiped out, but they're still on this place with the Lethari, kind of a really broken remnant. And now they're rising up again. And we got that. I went back to Memories of Ice in chapter 23. And they even talked about this Edur group. Remember the Edur? One of them kind of like showed up in the bottom of that area. You know, he kind of like, I can't remember. He like some kind of suicide. He like drowned himself down there. But in that chapter, they mention that they are led by an emperor who has died 100 times. This bringer of pain or whatever. And if anyone is going to be a threat in this series, I mean, I'm sure I've said that, but it's this guy. It's this younger brother. It just makes me sick to my stomach for the Sengar family. Even though they're not, a real family, but they are to me. They are to me in this series. I feel for this Sengar family. And the Edu are definitely going to make a run for the Throne of Shadow. For the first throne and everything. Man, everything's going to be converging at that throne, right? I wonder if we saw any of them die in House of Chains, meaning, when they were at the Drift of Valley or whatever that place was that Crocus met Andarist. There were some Edur mages. I don't know if that means maybe some of them or one or all of them were these 5 first sons of the tribes. That certainly could be possible. I'm still waiting for what is going to bring Troll to being chained there in the Nascent. More and more I'm thinking the brothers are probably compelled to do this. That Rhulad is going to tell them to do this. That's what I think. And that they're not going to really want to. I mean, look at what Rhulad just did. Just took his older brother's betrothed. Just to do it. He is just not a stable person. In any regard. This guy who has coins fused to his eyes. I mean, you know how obsessed I am in this book about eyes. In the first scene of Subbook 1, first scene of Subbook 2 is another thing with watching, and Subbook 2 with this Emperor. sheathed in coins and has coins for, like, not coins for eyes, but blinded in a way. I mean, there's something definitely very intentional about that sequence. Now, if I have time tonight, I'm going to go to the first scene of Subbook 3 at the halfway point now. I'm willing to bet it's going to follow the same pattern. Maybe not, though. We'll see. We'll see. Now, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that this guy who was previously unbloodied is now going to probably have more blood on his hands than rivaling Calor, maybe. Who knows? Holy smokes, this is just so bad. And that's just the thing, isn't it? You know, he had so many insecurities. This boy, this unbloodied e-doer, probably lacked all sorts of self-respect and had confidence issues, I'm sure. Less experienced, living in the shadow of his brothers. Even his brother Troll, that kind of is not wanting to do all that, but even he's bloodied or whatever, has that to his name. Now he's going to have his oldest brother's betrothed as his own. This kid is not stable. Probably has a high dependency on others, and I'm willing to bet he's going to be the type that when anyone challenges him, even if it's a stupid decision, because he has that emotional instability inside of him, he'll lash out and cause all sorts of terrible, terrible havoc because he's immature. Yeah, I'm just thinking of the brutal path that this kid is going to go on. And I think of the crippled god again. Who does he want? He wants people that are vulnerable, who have potential for havoc, or whatever. He wants people that are vulnerable. And it's not even that he ever just is taking a side. So often we see light versus dark. Amazing that he's got this guy right in the shadow. Right in the shadow. I often see, when I used to really like to kind of watch people argue about politics and then just kind of be on the side. But eventually I just got so burnt out on it. And, I'll bring this back into the cripple god, but because I would see people saying, well, there's evil, all the evil's on your side. Like, you are doing evil things. And then the other side would be like, you are doing evil things. And I just think, man, whatever's bringing both of you to calling each other out that way and being so tribal, that, in my eyes, falls right into the crippled god. I mean, obviously, there's things worth fighting for and stuff, but there are things. It's just amazing how they got this prime evil entity who preys upon people when they are most vulnerable and gives them things in exchange, but it always feels like an exchange that favors the house, with him being the house. So I'm just amazed by this. And I'm just amazed in wondering how do you push through this? Perrin's got to be still at the core of things. Karsa, since he is in the house. Rhulad obviously is now super a part of this. I mean, Calor's not going to have a Darth Vader moment, right? Where all of a sudden he like turns into our hero. Can't see that happening. Those three, and whoever ends up being on this first throne, if anyone, which now it sounds like it's going to be Rhulad, potentially. But it wouldn't be Rhulad because it's got to be Calor, I think, because he's the king. We might have an emperor working for the crippled god, but Calor's the king. That's what I think. That's what I think. But he preys on your vulnerabilities, man. That's always the truth. And it's in those times when you are down about something where you can start to make some awful decisions to go down a pretty rough road. I tell you that one of my favorite books is Frankenstein. Frankenstein. This is the character that I think about more than anything else, more than anyone else. Not the one from the Universal movies. He's a very different character. I think of this Frankenstein because I think of characters. I love characters with vulnerabilities who are complex. And this character, Frankenstein's monster, definitely is one with vulnerabilities. Think of it. He has massive vulnerabilities and self-confidence issues with his physical appearance. He can't even be around anyone without them just running away in terror. He's created and he wakes up and then just the first thing he sees is his maker running away in terror. Another vulnerability, he has to have a life of isolation. I tell you that I think about this character, but really it's the scene that I almost think about most in any book. There's a scene in this novel where he's watching this family from outside this kind of house that they have out of town. And he's just watching through this hole in a wall. And he's watching them tell stories. There's this father who tells these stories and things. And he just wants that. He just wants that. From the moment he woke up, he wants a bride or someone. He'll get out of everyone's hair if just somebody don't run away from me when I come around, when you see my face. So I think of Frankenstein all the time. Rejected all the time. He was just born into chaos. He lacks understanding, Frankenstein. I mean, if you haven't read the books, and you're only thinking about the movies, Frankenstein is extremely eloquent. Very eloquent. Now, that doesn't mean he's not kind of childish or childlike, because even though he's eloquent, he does lack understanding about his actions and things. And really, he's been thrown into a crap situation and would totally be susceptible to crippled God sort of things. Now, I don't know where this is going to go for the last half. But oh my goodness, what a tragedy this is turning out to be. Rhulad, dang it. I called him the stupid idiot brother, but when he finally grabbed that sword and it seemed like he was doing it to try to kind of, in my eyes, it seemed like he was doing that to help his brothers out. And now, man, what a mess he is in. What a mess he's in. So we'll see. And you know, there are tons of things going on within this book so far. Let me just open up the Dramatis Personae. Don't imagine I'm going to talk about all these though. Yeah, Hanan Mosag has bent the knee. Fear has, and I mean Troll. Oh man, yikes. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave that there. But they're going to have this war. I mean, now that war is officially here. And who is Udanas? Who is he gonna side with? Since he's still a slave of this Sengar house, and what is gonna happen with him in this last half? I am very intrigued by that. We know we know that Rhulad's gonna keep hating Troll. Man, man, how crazy that what a decision to make. uh Man, it's just so cool. What a decision to make the prologue and the epilogue of House of Chains really just so well tied into Midnight Tides. Holy cow. It's just amazing. Just amazing. All right. So my voice is already starting to drop. So I'll talk to you soon. And if you haven't come to the Discord, come do that. I'll leave a link. There's a place for Midnight Tides talk. There's a place for kind of general talk, which includes kind of stuff that is before Midnight Tides. You can ask questions there. You can come take a look. There is a Laughin' and Lion Midnight Tides page for those who have already kind of read the book. So you can go and you can laugh about my awful takes. And there's Laughin' and Lion series thing where I won't look at that until the end of the Cripple God. But I think once I'm done Midnight Tides, I'll look at the Laughin' and Lion page and have my feelings hurt. All right. So, holy smokes, this Rhulad, and I'm pretty sure he's kind of one of the weaker ones too, right? He had this debilitating kind of thing. Isn't he kind of has some kind of he's a little shorter and stuff. His stature is shorter. Isn't that right? He's just got all these things working against him, and now he's just like this. You know, kill him if you want to. He'll only come back stronger. Totally a Hydra or whatever the Hydra with the heads that when you cut down one, it comes back with two or whatever the thing is. He seems like a walking Hydra. Just wild. So cool, though. So cool. Go Little Brothers.